Hi, I'm here today with Paul Carroll. Paul is a Pulitzer nominee, a former Wall Street Journal reporter, a doer of many interesting things, not the least of which was he was really agreeable to write the foreword to the Changemakers Playbook. And on this topic of, making questions your superpower, I particularly wanted to speak to Paul because given his background as a journalist, he has spent a career figuring out how to ask questions to get at the non-obvious. So welcome, Paul. Thanks for joining
Great
me
to be
today.
here.
And so I just want to ask you, what are you doing today and how are you tapping into your, journalists and consultants bag of tricks to help your clients and your audiences ask the kinds of questions they need to be asking at this particular time?
I feel a little funny being asked questions. I mean, it's like I have an alibi. Honest, I didn't do it. I think the main point is just the one you are making, that questions are important. I mean, businesses are so much about getting a big idea and fine tuning it. And we're now in a situation where we have to get to the next round. I mean, people have optimized the businesses they have, but there are so many new opportunities out there that this is a time for questions. And I say that as somebody who deliberately got into insurance. I hear so many people say, "Oh, I stumbled into insurance because I did this, that, and the other thing." I mean, you had a long career more broadly in financial services before you got into insurance.
But I stumbled.
Well, okay. But having done a lot of things on technology and innovation about 10 years ago, thought there are four places that really haven't been turned upside down yet: government, healthcare, higher education, and insurance. So I got into insurance just because I wanted to ask those sorts of questions.
And so what are you doing now? How are the people that you're working with and the work you're doing on insurancethought.leadership.com and with your corporate clients, what kinds of things are you doing to help them ask the right questions now and make progress in this, truly remarkable time?
So a fair amount of it is to broaden the tools that they ought to be thinking about. So you sort of, if you're a painter, I mean, you have a lovely painting there behind you, that wasn't done with one color, right? There were a lot of colors on the palette that the painter had. And so we're trying to make people aware that there's blockchain out there and there's AI and there are Internet of Things and all sorts of other tools that are available to stretch their thinking. But then the big idea, the big question that we tell people to ask themselves is, what could the future look like? And so many people, as you well know, having been in many C-suites, are incremental. They think, okay, here we are today, and let's get here tomorrow, and then we can maybe get there and so forth. And they're very much constrained by where they are. I think the right exercise, and I've done this with a lot of companies over the years, is to start from the future and work backward. So forget about today, just either by yourself or conceivably with your team. Imagine what the best version of you looks like 5 years out and write it down, because stories are powerful and they make you make the connections. So just pick a date, 2026, and write a Wall Street Journal article that says amyradin.com Inc. was a spectacular success, and write the story about why. And in the process, you'll sort of see, well, okay, this maybe needs to happen, that needs to happen, whatever. And you sort of get the storyline. And then you can also do the flip side and say, Amy Radin Inc. Cratered. Why was that? Well, yeah, sorry. Customers did this or competitors did this. A lot of people don't pay enough attention to competitors. They're sort of focused on what they're doing and not what competitors might do to them, what technology might do or whatever. So if you just take out that clean sheet of paper and do that sort of imagination exercise where you work from the future back to today rather than from today, as people typically do, into the future, then I think you'll come up with a lot of insights.
That's fabulous advice.